Animated Anarchy series presents the Animated Showdown.
All right, what's up, everybody? It's Wednesday afternoon. We're on your lunch break. This is Animated Showdown, episode number 31, here, part of the Animated Anarchy series here on the When Toons Combined YouTube channel. I am, of course, your host, Dutchie, joined as always by Money E.
What's up?
All right, Sean is with us.
Hello.
And the man we call the Wild Card Dave.
Yes, sir.
All right, this is going to be a big one, because we have two shows that are perfect so far in action. They're not going against each other, but they have matches coming up. We got a big-time main event. On this episode, we got Ben 10 taking on Jimmy Neutron. We have Parasyte the Maxim taking on Lazarus. Jonny Quest taking on Alvin and the Chipmunks. By the way, Ben 10 and Jonny Quest, both perfect right now, so their perfect records are on the line here. We got Chalkzone taking on Chowder, and the main event is Spawn taking on the Justice League. Now, in the first matchup with Ben 10 and Jimmy Neutron, Liam Jolly, who has Jimmy Neutron in his division, he came up at the top of the leaderboard because all his shows are perfect, and he had the most points combined with all his shows. Because Eric couldn't deduct it. Eric got that one right because there were no negatives, so he couldn't, make them positive. So that's one of the ones he got right.
Thanks, Doug.
No problem. I'm going to give you crap about this to the end of time because math is supposed to be your strong suit.
I know. And I don't expect anything less.
Yeah. I mean, out of all the math wizards that I could have got, I got the defective one. But anyway,
I'll make it up to you with some time.
Yeah, well, we can't talk about that on the show. So anyway, Liam Jolly has been given the power to take out if a certain category gets picked in the randomizer for his battle alone, he can take out this category and insert another one. Now it's only going to count for his. Now Sean still has his power that he can take out a category that he doesn't like if it is drawn within the randomizer, but he cannot touch what Liam puts in.
Yep.
Now, if what Liam takes out or if what Liam wants to take out doesn't get put in, Sean, you cannot put. So basically, he doesn't want animation style in his battle. So, if you decide, okay, animation style is going to go in, then Liam would still get to activate his power, take animation out of his, but you can technically still put it in the other four battles.
Okay.
Not the person I needed to hear the okay from.
Makes sense. I got it. I will not change it.
All right. So, all right. 5 categories are going to be selected via the randomizer here. They're going to judge. 3-0 is 30 points. 3-1 is 20 points. 3-2 is 10. 5 for the loser. If you are swept, you lose 10 points. Enough rambling on here. Let's go ahead. Let's get this screen shared up.
Let's see what we're cooking with.
All right. Can everybody see the screen?
Yep.
All right. One click. Well, he doesn't have to change anything right now. Theme song, cultural impact. Why did I make that one word? Originality, memorable moments, and humor. Sean, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ask you. Have the power. Is there anything you want to change?
Change something.
Mm,
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Let's change out memorable moments for overall enjoyment.
Okay. All right.
I think
So
I second that.
yeah, I was just going to ask. All right. So you're going to second it.
Yep.
All right. So everything resets. Everybody gets their powers back for Saturday's show. You realize Eric is the only one that has used his power for a live Saturday show, right?
Oh
Yeah.
wow, yeah.
Everybody else, every other time that the power has been used, it's been used on the Wednesday show.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I like it.
I think it's just a way to make the Wednesday show more watchable. All right. So theme song, cultural impact, originality, enjoyment, and humor is what we got here. All right, Dave, what do we think?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. My favorite one can't be even put in here, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Well, it couldn't be put in the first one. It could have been used for the other ones.
Oh.
But I mean, and to be honest with you, if we're going to be 100% completely honest, I actually think taking out not wanting animation style was kind of a mistake.
For
For the first battle.
yeah.
At first I was just like, all right, that's cool. And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, oh crap.
Uh-huh.
Maybe.
That's why I was surprised.
Again, this was his decision. I left it up to him.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm curious, who you guys would have done for if we had animation style?
Nope, not telling you until we're done.
Uh,
Not giving up any of my categories.
All right. Well,
copy that.
all right. First battle up is Ben 10 versus Jimmy Neutron. So we're starting off hot.
Yes.
Ben 10, 2-0, 60 points in the division of, I believe, Dave's relative, Joshua Cogaman. I'm just going to go ahead and double check that because I more than likely have gotten it. No, that's him. All right, 2-0, 60 points in his division. Liam Jolly Jimmy Neutron is in the division of Liam Jolly, 2-0, 40 points. So if Ben 10 gets a sweep here, they're going to be tied for the 1 seed with 16. But we're going to see what happens. So we start with theme song. Sean, who had the better theme song between these two?
I give this one to Jimmy Neutron. I always loved that theme song.
Whoa.
Okay. All right, Dave.
Yeah, I'm going the other way. I went with Ben 10 here. I thought it was a little more memorable. I thought it was more of a banger. I thought it brought a lot of good energy. I thought it was high, octane energy, and I think it set the tone for the action-packed show. It's easy to sing along with. So I feel like, I just thought it was really good. The lyrics went with the show, and it brought this show, like it set the tone for the show, and I thought it did a wonderful job. So I picked Ben 10.
All right, Eric, you get to break the tie.
Yep. This is a close one for me, but I lean Jimmy Neutron. I agree with Sean.
Okay. All right, so Jimmy Neutron is up 1-0. 2 more and then they sweep. Cultural Impact is up next. Dave?
Yeah, this has been 10 all the way. It's definitely a massive success. Ben 10
How
generated
many
over,
spin-offs did they have, Dave?
huh?
How many spin-offs did they have?
A lot. A lot. A lot. You got like including like Alien Force, Ultimate Alien, the Omniverse and type deal, the reboots. You got the reboots and
I mean, I'm just trying to help you make your point.
yeah, they got a ton. So I mean, it's very iconic. The Omnitrix is very iconic. It's got over 7.8 billion in retail sales as of 2016. It is 10 years, almost 10 years later, so that number has probably rose significantly. And Jimmy Neutron just isn't on that level.
Okay. All right. Sean, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ben 10 solely because of all the reboots.
All right, Eric.
Yep, Ben 10.
All right. So no sweep is happening. Ben 10 cannot reach the 1 seed or cannot be tied for the 1 seed with 16 right now because they were not able to get the sweep done. But they can still technically get the win. It's tied 1-1 right now. The next category is originality.
Ooh, let me go first.
Go ahead. I was gonna throw it to Eric, but if you want him to agree with you, you might as well go first.
Yes. I'm going with Ben 10 here. I just think the creativity of like having all those aliens that you can transform into the watch is very unique. Jimmy Neutron, I just feel like you see a lot of like, intelligent kids that are very tech savvy and whatnot. I feel like we've seen those shows before, like Dexter, for example. I'm not saying it's exactly the same, but it's along those lines. It's just a little different. So I think Ben 10 is definitely different. I think it's very unique. It's a mix of like sci-fi action with paranormal elements, and I thought it was very unique for its time.
All right, Eric.
Yep, I went with Ben 10 too. Everything he said, like
Or before or after he said what he said.
no, I was going to say Ben 10 anyway.
All right. All right, Sean.
I was actually going with Jimmy Neutron. But it doesn't matter.
See, this is where the sound effects would have come in.
Oh, it's fine.
Oh, those. He's looking for those.
Yeah. Because they're not on camera, I would need the sound effects so I know for sure it's like, oh, he wants to go next. All right. They're up 2-1. One more, and then they get the win. And then Liam Jolly is no longer undefeated. And, then I'll just look at him and be like, you picked the wrong category to switch out. Overall enjoyment. Sean, you wanted this in. You go first.
I put this in because I enjoyed Jimmy Neutron more. I liked the educational feel, but also it was like quirky and funny, and kind of like almost in a sense realistic or like real life.
All right. I saw a finger go up, Eric, so go ahead.
Yep, I went the opposite. I enjoyed Ben 10 more. I like the action. I like the story of Ben 10 and his growth. So.
All right, Dave, you get to decide whether or not this goes one more round.
Oh, I do, and I got the power, and I'm gonna execute right here. I'm picking Ben 10. I thought it was more enjoyable. I like the action. I like the different aliens, their different abilities, and how he uses them. And I do like the story, and I like the Grandpa Max, the plumber idea, and how the lore of that renders into the story as time goes on. I do like that, and the villains I do enjoy as well. So I'm going with Ben 10 here. Jimmy Neutron was funny. I really like Carl Sheen and Goddard and a lot of those characters, but I do prefer some action when I'm watching a show, and Ben 10 gave us that.
All right. So they're not perfect anymore because they didn't get the sweep, but they got 20 points. So they remain perfect record wise, but not points wise. So they get the 20 points. Liam Jolly no longer has a perfect division. I could have seen this coming no matter what he took out. So all right. Jimmy Neutron gets no points, but Ben 10 gets 20. Would have been.
You might have had a chance if you took out overall enjoyment.
That's what Sean put in.
I know. I mean, if we got it, and
Eric just called you an idiot for putting overall enjoyment in instead of keeping memorable moments in there.
I remember. Now, just being all right, I'm an idiot. Yeah, I get it.
Good Lord.
Yo,
remember, Sean, next Wednesday, you're the host.
Oh, I know.
Yo, can we do a judges boxing match and record that?
Locker box.
I got the gloves already, Doug.
I mean, the thing is that video would go viral.
Exactly. Judges beefing over
a
category. They boxed it out. I think we would get views like Paul Brother over there.
Yeah. So it would, so that's something to think about. All right. We move on to the next battle, which is Parasyte the Maxim versus Lazarus. Now, Parasyte the Maxim is in the division of Pat Skelly, and they are 0-2, but with 5 points. Taking on Lazarus in the division of Baron Ziegler, 0-2, negative 5 points. So, all right, somebody's going to get their first win here. We move on, or we go to the first category, which is theme song. Sean, we start with you.
Oof. You said we're on the Lazarus one?
Lazarus versus Parasyte the Maxim. Yep.
Okay, yep. I went with Lazarus here.
Now, can I ask you, did you pick Lazarus because it had the saxophone?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I just thought it was a little more catchy and to the kind of interest of the show. Brought you more interest into the show.
Feel that.
At least it did that for me.
All right. Eric?
Yeah, I went the opposite. I went Parasite. I thought that was just more catchy to me.
All right. Dave, which one of these two is right?
Honestly, I enjoyed both. I can't really it was hard for me to say which one's better because they bring two different styles. I feel like Parasyte brings you that high energy, catchy, modern electronic type sound, and I think Lazarus is more like artistic, jazzy sound. It's a little more sophisticated, and I kind of like that cinematic feel. So I'm going with Lazarus here.
All right.
I think, like Sean alluded to, it brought the atmosphere together a little bit better.
All right, fair enough. Lazarus is up 1-0. 2 more and then they sweep. Cultural impact. Dave, who had the bigger cultural impact?
This one is pretty close because neither of them are super huge, but I'm going to say Parasyte the Maximum. I think it's definitely established a higher impact than Lazarus, which is a newer series. Because Lazarus premiered in 2025 and Parasyte was like 2014 time period. It's definitely had longevity, the source material, the multi-generational adaptations, and the global recognition that Lazarus just hasn't got the chance to get to.
Okay. All right, Eric.
Yeah, I went Parasyte too. From what I read and researched, it led me to Parasyte.
All right, Sean.
Yeah, sweet that I went with Parasyte there too.
All right, they're tied 1-1. All right. Next category is originality. Sean, who had the more original concept?
I I went with Parasite the Maximum. Because everything I saw, I think like the Lazarus show was based off like I think it was based off a show back in the day called Lazarus. I could be wrong.
Mind if I go second?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going the opposite way. I'm going with Lazarus here. I think its originality is a little better because Parasite the Maximum is an adaptation of the 1990s manga. Lazarus, I feel it's an original anime. It's also created by the person that did Cowboy Bebop, in collaboration with like Mappa and stuff like that. Who and Chad Stilinski, who did John Wick. I think it's like its brand of sci-fi thriller, unique plots with like scientists creating like a pandemic level drug that kills its users in 3 years after consumption. I think that is very unique, and it requires like specialized teams to find the cure and stuff. I think that's very unique. I don't think Parasite is as unique as that on its core concepts.
All right, Eric, you're breaking a tie.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Dave this time. I went with Lazarus.
All right. All right. Lazarus is up 2-1. One more, and they get the win. It's overall enjoyment. Eric, you're first.
Oh, this is the close one. I thought both shows were pretty decent, but I went with Lazarus here. I just found that more story, and I just enjoyed it more.
All right.
Ooh.
All right, you're making sound effects. Go.
All right, I went the opposite way here. I went with Parasite the Maximum. I just thought it's a really good emotional thriller. It's pretty much has everything. It got good character development, good story pacing. It's got very good action and gore. So I like all that. And you put it all in one. And it has more to watch. Lazarus is new, so they're still, creating episodes. This is pretty much all done and deal, so you can get the whole story. So I also enjoy that, but I also like their stylized action a little bit more and their music during the fights. I find that very exciting, and I think it brings the fights to life a little bit more.
All right, Sean, you get to break a tie and decide whether or not we go another round.
We won't, because I agree with Dave. I went with Parasite here.
No, we are going another round. Lazarus was up 2-1.
All right. Well, yeah, either way, I'm going with Lazarus.
You went Lazarus, or you're because you said you're agreeing with Dave.
No. I'm going with Parasite.
All right. Sabres game has been over for 4 days, Sean. All right. So we are going to go to the fifth category, which is humor. Which show was funnier, Sean?
Oof. I gave this one to Lazarus. I just thought there was slightly, to me at least, it was a little more funnier.
All right. Dave, I think I heard you say no. So
No, I just went because I can kind of see where he's coming from, but I went Parasite. I went the opposite of Sean. I just thought the dynamic relationship between the main character and the parasite on his hand, Miggy, I thought was hilarious. I thought it was, very character-driven comedy between those two. The parasite and the protagonist, Shinichi, or however you pronounce his name. I have a hard time with his name. But I do know how to spell it. Yeah, I think that dynamic dual connection between those two is hilarious, and I like the humor of the parasite a lot. It's very subtle.
all right, Eric, you get to break a tie here.
I went with Lazarus. I went with Sean.
All right, Lazarus is going to get the win 3-2. They are going to get 10 points, so they get themselves out of the negative. Parasyte the Maxim gets 5 points for being close. So they both get points out of this. We move on to the next battle, which is Jonny Quest versus Alvin and the Chipmunks. Jonny Quest in the division of Pat Skelly, 2-0, 60 points. They are perfect right now. Taking on Alvin and the Chipmunks, 1-1, 10 points in the division of Derek Elstrom. So this is another one. If Jonny Quest is able to get themselves a win here and a sweep, then they will be tied for the 1 seed with 16. First category is theme song. Eric, you're up.
I went with Alvin and the Chipmunks. I just think that's a classic, and them singing is I like it.
All right. Dave?
Yeah, I went the other way. Jonny Quest all the way. I think it's famous. First of all, it's an epic production for sure. It was very, very difficult for musicians to play some of the sections, like the horn sections that were in the Jonny Quest theme song, because it takes that talent, and it's hard for good musicians to actually play this. I'm giving it to Jonny Quest here, because it's not some charming do 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 do. Like it's literally musicians putting on an epic production, and because of that and the talent it takes, I'm giving it to them.
All right. Sean, you get to break a tie here.
I gave it to Alvin and the Chipmunks. Much better, in my opinion. Much better.
Whoa. Well, I think because Alvin and the Chipmunks is kind of considered to be like an iconic song. I do get where Dave is coming from, because I
would put Jonny Quest up there with like Spider-Man and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme songs, almost, like with how epic it is.
Yeah. So, and I do think a lot of people actually feel that way. So it's not like it's a.
It's just the talent that it takes to play those instruments, and the way they were playing them was just it's amazing.
Right. So the music is better on Jonny Quest, but also the fact that Alvin and the Chipmunks is an actual like song.
Yeah. I could understand that. Yeah.
I think that's where a lot of people would be coming from. But like the music is better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot more talent to kind of get that kind of. Anybody can sing. Not a lot of people can sing well. But anybody can sing a song. Just don't do it in front of American Idol judges, because they will rip you apart. All right. Alvin and the Chipmunks is up 1-0. Jonny Quest cannot get the sweep here. So they don't have a shot at the 1 seed. But cultural impact. Sean, you're going to start. Who had the bigger cultural impact?
I'm going to go with Alvin and the Chipmunks, just because of all of their like holiday type specials and actual releasing of like CDs back in the day.
And didn't they have a couple of like animated movies back when the show was popular?
Yeah. They started getting movies and
well, because I'm talking like in the 80s too, because didn't they have like Alvin and the Chipmunks Meet the Wolfman or something?
Yeah.
So
all right. Good.
All right, Dave, go ahead.
Yeah, they're a cultural juggernaut. Alvin and the Chipmunks. I mean, not only do they have the show, they're a musical impact as well. I mean, they are the #1 selling group in history of children's music. 6 Grammy Awards. I mean, they have that high-pitched sound that influenced, a lot of music production. And popular music trends, like the auto tune and stuff like that. I feel like they definitely brought that more to the popular music trend. So they hit, and that's just the music part of it. That's not just the show, which sold 50 million records, 35 million videos, over 2 billion revenue on source that I could find, which is pretty amazing, I would say. So I'm giving it to Alvin and the Chipmunks here.
All right. Eric.
Yeah, Alvin and the Chipmunks. It's a classic. Who doesn't like Chipmunks singing? Everybody loves them. So yeah.
All right. So the show that was perfect heading in may end up losing points here, depending on how this goes. And we've seen it, by the way, once already. A couple weeks ago, Samurai Champloo went in with a perfect record against My Hero Academia and left 10 points lighter. We could very well see it here. The next category is originality. Alvin and the Chipmunks is one more away from a sweep. By the way, this is the third Hanna-Barbera show that Alvin and the Chipmunks has gone against, and they're 1-1. So originality, Dave, you get to start.
For originality, I'm going Jonny Quest here. I just thought they brought more, they brought more of like groundbreaking visuals, I thought, compared to like, in that time period of where like Hanna-Barbera is like bringing like the funny animal things to life. This was more like a realistic art style. It was definitely more serious themed, dangerous, that kind of how it themed. I thought it also had an adult influence on it. A lot of mature storylines and, very serious, character type stuff. I feel like we've seen a lot of talking animals and a lot of, things around that. So I don't feel like Alvin and the Chipmunks, besides the music part, really brought anything unique to it besides the music.
All right. Dave? Or not Dave, Eric?
Yeah, I went Alvin and the Chipmunks. I just think it's different. I mean, not different, but there's Chipmunks. So.
All right. Sean, guess what you're doing?
Yeah, I went Alvin and the Chipmunks just because it was different at the time, seeing like 3 chipmunks singing in auto tune, but doing it well, and watching how everybody just accepted that throughout the shows.
All right.
Where would you have gone, Doug?
For originality?
Yeah.
I feel like because Jonny Quest, all right, he's a son of an inventor, right?
Yeah.
All right. So because I feel like that other shows did that after Jonny Quest, I would have probably gone with Jonny. I see where these two are coming from.
Yeah, I felt like Jonny Quest was a pioneer for a lot of different shows.
It was. Alvin and the Chipmunks, though, is kind of like one of a kind, so I do kind of see where they're coming from.
Yeah. It is with the blending of the musical. I do say that's one thing I said in my thing. I said, besides that, I mean, it's just talking animals.
Yeah. So, all right. So, Alvin and the Chipmunks is going to get 30 points out of this. Jonny Quest is going to lose 10. So, Jonny Quest no longer perfect. But Alvin and the Chipmunks gets 30 points. So, they are climbing back up into the division race. Still a few points. It's still about 20 points behind High School of the Dead and the Adventures of or the Amazing World of Gumball. But they are still staying up in that division race. Up next, we have Chalkzone taking on Chowder. Chalkzone 0-2, negative 10 points in the division of Danielle Davis. And Chowder 0-2, negative 20 points in the division of Kenny Lehman. So somebody could very well get themselves out of the negative here. I mean, we've seen it a couple times already. A couple negative 20 shows have put themselves back in the positive with a big win. Galaxy High did it. Jabberjaw did it. Let's see if either one, which one of these shows is going to do it. Theme song is up first. Sean, you're up.
I went with I didn't really like either of them, but I like Chowder's just slightly more.
All right.
They weren't really intriguing to me though.
Yeah, I can see that. All right, Eric, hand went up. So
Yeah, I went the opposite. I didn't like either one either, but I just thought Chowder is just a little better.
you just wanted to disagree with Sean.
No.
All right. More fuel to next week's fire.
Keep digging the hole.
Yeah. All right, Dave.
He said, I already
That's
dug at
good.
6 feet, dog. How far you want me to dig?
Yeah.
Then he had an excavator dropped off.
But for theme song, I'm going with Chalkzone here. I just thought it was pretty good with the guitar riffs. I like the high energy it brought. Chowder, it's very repetitive. It's very annoying to me. I did not like Chowder's theme song. I felt like they were just trying to get memes out of it, and that's kind of all I felt when I seen Chowder's theme song, Chalkzone. I felt like it was more of like a unique tune, but I felt like it was a banger.
Okay. All right. They are up 1-0, 2 more, and then they sweep. Cultural impact. Who had the bigger cultural impact, Eric?
This is hard because I didn't find much of anything between the two, but from what I read, it led me, I guess, the low I read, Chalkzone.
All right.
Chalkzone. Did I say that right?
Yeah, you did. Dave, I heard a sound effect. You're up.
Yeah, I'm going with Chowder. I think it's recognized as a standout cartoon. It targets both the young and older demographics. So I feel like it's definitely had more of a, I think it's definitely had more of an impact. It still gets mentioned in a lot of discussions. It resonates, the comedy resonates with a lot of different audiences. Chalkzone, it was definitely part of the Nickelodeon era, but I just feel like it wasn't like widespread cultural impact, or big discussions of like where Chowder was. Chowder was, it was talked about a lot. Definitely in the time when I was growing up, it was a big show. A lot of people liked it and enjoyed it. I wasn't one of them, but it was definitely a hit show back in the day, and I think it definitely had a bigger impact.
All right. Did you see the look of disappointment on Eric's face when you disagreed with him? Like he's just like the pout. I saw a pout, and it's just like, get over it. All right.
He's like, damn, Dave, you're supposed to be on my side for once.
All right. Sean, you're breaking a tie.
I went with Chowder. I just think it had a weird, slightly more impact just because of the style of show it ended up being.
Okay. All right. So
And also, I wanted to disagree with Eric.
Can't really blame you there. All right. 1-1. All right. Next category is originality. Dave, you get to start this one.
Yeah, I think the originality. Oh man, this is pretty close because I felt like they're both pretty original in their own ways. Like Chowder had distinct art style. I feel like they also, instead of like focusing just on the plot, they focused on like the absurdity of the characters and whatnot. So like it was very crazy and hectic, but it was kind of, it was kind of funny watching and a little chaotic. I'm not a huge fan of it, but there's some humor that I enjoyed in there. But Chalkzone, it is very different from like, a boy whose drawings come to life in a magical dimension. I feel like that is very creative with chalk. You don't see that a lot. But I feel like there is some shows that we've seen where they kind of have similar concepts. So for that reason, I went with Chowder.
All right. Go ahead, Eric.
I went with Chalkzone. From what I read, it led me to Chalkzone, but I think it is close.
All right. Sean?
Yeah, I'm going with Chowder. Pretty much for like all the reasons Dave said, practically.
Okay. All right. They are up 2-1. One more, and then they can get the win. It's memorable moments now.
It's not enjoyment.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh,
Overall
I wrote down the wrong thing.
He changed it.
Yeah, I know. I wrote it down wrong. Because I went by what was written on the randomizer instead of what I had written down on the previous page.
Don't worry, I do that too. So I cross it off. Double line it.
All right, but good catch. I knew it looked wrong, and I'm like, why the hell does it say memorable moment?
Yeah, he's
Okay,
like,
great.
"Oh, feel something different about this one here."
Yeah. And I'm just like, wait a minute. All right. Well, and so it is overall enjoyment. Do you want to go first, or were you flipping me off?
No, I want to go first.
All right, go ahead.
Get it over with, though. I mean, I didn't like either show, but if I had to pick, it would be Chalkzone.
Which you do have to pick. You are legally obligated to do so.
Yep, it's in your contract that I wrote up and you both signed and I witnessed.
Yeah. Because I had him write it up because I can't write. Nobody can read my handwriting, so I had him do it.
Yeah, and I'm the lawyer.
Yeah, exactly. You haven't really. I mean, you've kind of acted like the lawyer, but nobody's really brought it up.
Yeah.
And Eric's disagreed with you a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely today. He's definitely agreed, but I really haven't been trying to like seduce. I've been kind of like monotone, like straight to the point.
Yeah, and it's just like, even though like Eric has disagreed with you more, and yet he had that pout on his face when you disagreed with him. So kind of hypocritical, but anyway. Sean?
I went with Chalkzone. I enjoyed that more. I'm not a fan of Chowder.
All right. Dave?
Strike 3 in that column. I do not like Chowder. I don't know how people do, and I don't know how it has such an impact on viewers. I don't know what they were liked out of that, but good for them. I just couldn't find it.
Boring?
All right.
It's boring and annoying. Like, it's super chaotic. It's a lot of absurdness. It's not my thing. And it's not like there's not good action in there either. So it's like, there's nothing for me in there besides the humor that they try to bring in that's not that great. And then because their humor is not that great, they try to use fourth wall humor, like, talking about the writers or the illustrators or something, and that just doesn't work for me.
That's why I was surprised it even had a culture impact.
It has a huge impact with like viewership and people liking the show. It does have a lot of viewers.
That's why I was surprised.
Yeah, so am I, Eric.
All right. So 2-2. One more. We're going to the last category. It's humor. Dave, what show was funnier?
Man. Oh, man. There wasn't a lot of humor in Chalkzone. There wasn't a lot. It didn't really rely on any humor. I'm going with Chowder just because they really tried to bring humor into it. It was kind of based on humor. I feel like they disregarded some of the plot and storyline to bring more humor into it, or tried to. And so for that reason, I'm going with Chowder.
All right, Sean?
They also have a lot of memes.
Yeah, I have to go with Chowder. It's just because of the absurdity they kind of went with.
All right, Eric.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you guys. I don't think either show had much humor, but for no humor it was in Chowder, I'll pick that.
You're just trying to get on Sean's good side now.
Ain't gonna happen. He's already done it. The worst thing he can say is, "Oh, you know what? The Sabres suck."
Yeah, really? Not calling you an idiot isn't the worst thing?
I tend to
I was
forget.
gonna say that's where you draw the line.
You said the Sabres. I'm worried about the Sabres. I don't care if
He's worried about the Sabres, not worried about the fact that he called you an idiot.
Oh, I know I'm an
I
idiot.
didn't say that.
We all heard you.
You didn't have to say it directly.
You didn't say it, but I
was implied.
translated it into that.
Oh yes, sir.
So I'm just trying.
That
to
wasn't my intention.
Yeah, I'm just trying to bring a little more humor to the episode since
I know.
humor is one of the categories. All right, Chowder's going to get 10 points. They're not out of the negative yet. They're at negative 10. Chalkzone is at negative 5 because they do get 5 points out of this. Both shows still suck.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, main event. Spawn versus the Justice League. Spawn
Two
is
shows that are
1
way
and 1.
better.
Huh?
I said 2 shows that are way better.
Yeah.
This one was hard for me, especially the first category.
All right.
Yep.
Spawn's 1 and 1 in the division of Mark McGee, 10 points. Justice League 2-0 in the division of Shane, 20 points. So both show it's been close. So Justice League has just been squeaking out wins.
Yeah. They have been.
So including a win in stage 2 over Naruto Shippuden, which I'm not going to bring up too much. I'm just going to bring up that it happened.
It is crazy.
We're not going to go into further detail because I'm pretty sure. I think at some point I'm pretty sure Dave made us all sign NDAs about it. Because I don't think it's really been brought up since. But all right, we start with theme song. Oh, the show's gone off the rails. So we start with theme song, and Dave, you're up first.
Oh, this one was tough. It was very tough, but I'm going with the one that I think has the edge. I think it has the edge because it's instantly recognizable and it's very fitting for the genre perfectly. And I'm going with Justice League. I thought they were both great, great theme songs, but I feel like when you have something that's instantly recognizable and it's super fitting for the superhero genre, it's like perfect. I think you take this one.
Okay. All right. Eric, did you put your hand up?
Yes, I did.
All right, go ahead.
I went with Spawn because I like the dark theme more, so
You
I went with that.
freak.
But I like both. I love both of them. So
All right. John, for the 85th time in this episode, you're breaking another tie.
I'm going with Justice League. It is recognizable. It has the word that Eric needs to be brought upon to for being a bully to me today.
Justice.
Just remember, 1 week's time, you are the host.
Oh yeah.
And we're going to get into what the battles are because these are there's a few battles on this thing that I am personally looking forward to. Which, by the way, for anybody that doesn't know, like next week when Sean gets a host, that means I am the judge. So not only does Sean get the responsibilities that I usually have, but I get so Sean and I are switching places. We're not switching bodies.
Freaky Friday.
But we're switching places.
yeah, and if he doesn't use his power, you get to use his power.
If you could switch bodies, what would be the first thing you would do?
I would just be happy to have his hair.
Wait, switch bodies as in these two, or like switch?
Like Freaky Friday, you and Doug switch.
They just switch body. I thought you were about to say like they switch like sexes. Because then I know exactly what Eric would do.
We're talking about you and I, Sean.
Yeah, I was talking about you and Dutchie.
Yeah.
I'm not listening to any of that. I'm just aiming for Eric now.
He said, I ain't listening to you, dog. You always talking some wild stuff.
Eric's reaction to becoming a girl. So that's what it looks like.
Oh my god.
All right. Oh my god.
I'm sorry, Eric.
This is why I'm glad kids are in school when this show airs.
You did this to yourself, Eric. I apologize.
We're gonna get canceled.
No, we didn't say anything inappropriate.
Yeah, how did they know if I didn't mean like you switched to a dog or something, you know?
So,
Moving on.
Or a cat or a snake or a monkey.
Will you stop? All right, Justice League is up 1-0. Cultural impact is the next category. Sean, you're gonna start.
Justice League. I
Yeah.
don't think there's anything I could say that wouldn't justify that. Just
Eric,
because it's like, you know, well, I mean, like Spawn is, you know, a different type of superhero.
I could give one argument.
And everybody always prays for that one anti-hero type of person. But I think Justice League just has way too many top names like associated with it, that it's just irrevocable, or, you know, it's hard enough to try to put anything up against it.
Okay. All right.
That is fair.
Dave, you said you can make an argument. Whether or not that means that it's going to be a different answer, I'm going to let you go next anyway.
The only argument that I could really make for it, along with what Sean was alluding to, is like the anti-hero. Spawn is the most successful independent comic character of all time. You know, so that.
No, something stupid popped up on my phone. I'm sorry. Sometimes when I open up a text message, it will bring down like a screen and open up like Facebook on the side. And I don't know why it does that.
So, because it's the most successful independent comic character of all time, it fundamentally changed the industry, proving that a non-Marvel DC character could achieve mass success. Yeah. So that's the one argument that I could really make for it, along with what Sean was alluding to, you know, the anti-hero stories, the trend of the darker side of things. That's the one thing I could do for the impact that it's made, which is pretty significant. But I just don't think it's significant as what the Justice League has done. Like Sean said, I mean, it's got so many of the top heroes that people love, and just, you know, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, like the list goes on. So Justice League just has so much of an impact. It's hard to measure up against that.
All right, Eric.
Yeah, Justice League. He made a good argument. He almost had me convinced, but it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, but then you found out he wasn't going with that.
Yeah.
If I went with Spawn, would you have went with Spawn, Eric?
I might have.
All right.
You had me convinced.
Yeah. Justice League is he had him convinced until he's like, although Justice League.
Yep.
All right.
But
yeah. So all right, Justice League is up 2-0. One more, and then they sweep. But we move on to originality. Ooh. Who had the more original concept? Dave?
Spawn definitely had the more original concept. Like I said, it was independent. It definitely was the anti-hero role, which, you know, Spawn kind of made. I feel like Spawn kind of made that genre what it is. I just feel like it's very unique in that way. Justice League is just a combination of all those superheroes joining together. So, like, you know, we've seen Batman, we've seen Superman shows, we've seen those shows. Now they're just all combined. It's not very original. It is original in them forming a team and working together, you know, to fight evil and whatnot. I just don't think it's as unique of a concept as Spawn is.
All right. Sean, go ahead.
Yeah, I have to agree. I went with Spawn just because of, you're merging 10 different heroes and shows into one show. It doesn't take that much originality.
Yeah.
From when you're, writing something new for Spawn.
Right. All right, Eric.
Yeah, sweep it. There's not much originality with if you put all the heroes together, as these guys said.
All right. Justice League is up 2-1. They can still win in this next category. With this next category, it is overall enjoyment, not memorable moments. Even though I forgot to write that down on this page because I'm a boob. All right, and Eric, which one did you enjoy more?
This is hard because I enjoyed both, but I like Justice League because I like all the superheroes coming together and being one, fighting all the bad guys, and the villains from all the other shows. So I just enjoyed that better.
All right, Sean.
I enjoyed both of them, but I like Justice League a little more. I think there is just a little more to the stories.
Okay.
Like it wasn't just, you kept following just Spawn around. Like a couple episodes you had something with like Batman and Superman or Wonder Woman, and every time was something a little different.
Yeah.
All right, Dave.
I actually went with Spawn. I think I enjoyed Spawn a little bit more. I kind of like the anti-hero storytelling. I thought it was pretty epic. It was very dark and gritty. I like the demon fighting. I like the vibe of it very much. The character struggling with his humanity. I also enjoyed that, watching him battle with that and try to travel through that obstacle. I just enjoyed it a lot more. Justice League, yes, it was great to see the heroic team ups and whatnot. It's just I enjoyed both shows. Justice League, I just feel like the story could have been a little better. With all those heroes combined, I feel like they could have done something a little more gravitating.
That's true. They could have done what Avengers did.
Yeah, like something like an end game or something like that. Like they could have brought they could have really had something special, but they just did the same, a couple heroes are going to go out and do this and a couple of heroes are going to go out there and do that. There's only a few times where you see all of them really have to work together to defy odds.
Right.
And even then you're not oh, they're going to lose because, they're just overpowered superheroes working together. So Spawn, I feel like it gave more of a climatic feel to it because there was just an uncertainty to it. And that's why I went with it for enjoyment.
All right. Fair enough.
The difference between that too is Spawn, he wasn't already an anti-hero to begin with, like everybody in Justice League was. You know what I mean? He was just a normal guy that kind of fell into that world after getting murdered.
Right. All right. So Justice League is going to take this.
Where would you have gone, Dutchie?
Yeah,
overall enjoyment?
Yep.
I like Justice League.
I understand.
If we go by overall enjoyment, which again is a category, and we've talked about this before, that's our opinion. Everything is our opinion.
Oh, for sure.
But this is where we can actually give our opinion, and it's just okay, what did I enjoy watching more? I enjoyed watching Justice League more because I like a lot of the heroes.
Yeah. That's what made it very tough for me. Seeing all those heroes team up, it's exciting. And there's some of your favorite heroes that are teaming up. So it's super exciting to see that. So I totally understand.
So, but yeah, that part. So Justice League gets 20 points out of this. Spawn does not get any. So now another like a big episode here because some things really went down. Like, Ben 10 ends a somebody's undefeated streak. There's no longer a perfect division. And Johnny Quest gets swept when they were perfect. Now they're not. So now we move on to the Judge's Choice episodes this upcoming Saturday. It is my Judge's Choice. And by the way, all the powers reset. So to change the category if they so choose.
Yes, I get power.
Yeah. All right. And here's what I got set up for Saturday. Heathcliff takes on Goof Troop. Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling takes on Camp Candy. Batman the Animated Series versus Celebrity Deathmatch. Adventures of the Gummy Bears versus the Smurfs. Rocco's Modern Life versus Darkwing Duck. And the main event is the Flintstones taking on the Teenage Ninja Turtles, who are perfect right now, by the way. If they
Rightfully so.
If they sweep the Flintstones, they tie 16 for the 1 seed.
Wow.
All right. Sean, I'm going to go ahead. Next Wednesday's show is Sean's Judge's Choice. He's going to read off what he has because I think he switched up the match order a little bit.
I did.
Go ahead.
So I'm going to read them in order. Our first matchup is going to be Family Guy versus The Simpsons.
Dang.
Followed by Rick and Morty versus Solar Opposites. Archer versus Bob's Burgers. Bob the Builder versus Bluey. South Park versus Harvey Birdman. And with the main event, it will be Recess versus Magic School Bus.
The perfect Magic School Bus, by the way.
Snap.
So I
think that's a great. What did you originally have in the main event?
I was going to do Family Guy and The Simpsons, but I feel like I had to change it just because that's such an already talked about topic.
Might as well start off with a banger.
Yeah, I might as well start off with the banger.
Yeah.
And then, because they're also kind of similar.
Yeah. I feel like
Magic School Bus
your
are
final
similar,
but I feel like that's a banger matchup too. Like I don't know which one I would pick.
By the way, like I said, Magic School Bus is perfect. 2-0 and 60 points. Their records on the line here.
Yeah.
And if they can sweep, which I don't put money on it. Like if you bet on this show, first of all, what is wrong with you? Second of all, if you bet on the show, do not put the money down on Magic School Bus sweeping. I mean, it could, but I would not, put money down on it confidently. Because Recess is too tough.
Yeah, it's a really good matchup.
Yeah, it's not. I'll tell you, no.
Give the shows a chance, you putz. Like, watch the stuff throughout the week and then make your decision on Wednesday.
All right. Okay.
Oy. So Sean will be hosting that next Wednesday, and if he still has his power by next Wednesday, if he doesn't use it Saturday, that means I use it on next Wednesday. And depending on what categories end up being drawn, we'll see what happens. I know when I was in Dave's place, I used it.
Yes, sir.
And it may have screwed over a couple shows. But all right, make sure to like and subscribe to the When Tunes Combine YouTube channel. Join the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/When Tunes Combine. Also, like and subscribe to the Wrestling Through the Years YouTube channel this Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We are going to be talking about the Coliseum home video release, the 1992 Battle of the WWF Superstars. Also, like and subscribe to Money E's Unscripted Sports Show. You're going to find him on Twitch at TCAX Money E. You're going to find Dave on Twitch at TCAX Godsent95. You're going to find Sean all sorts of places, just not in your shower. That's the only place he's not on. At TCAX Reaper on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick.
I primarily just stream on Twitch now.
Oh, you're just on Twitch now?
Yeah, I haven't done anything to YouTube or Kick.
Okay. All right. Also, make sure to like and subscribe to the Dizzle97 YouTube channel and Twitch, and the Stabcast with Daniel and Mindy. We're going to see everybody Saturday night for My Judge's Choice. It's going to be these next two episodes have some pretty big battles in them. Today's was huge. And this upcoming week we got some big ones as well. So we got to
go back and listen to Saturdays. It was pretty epic too.
Yeah. So we've been the battles just get bigger. So we'll see everybody Saturday night.